Ellen, Oprah, Ashton Kutcher. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood are scrambling after the feds started arresting people close to Diddy. Diddy knows that the only way he can get out is if he starts snitching. And according to those closest to Diddy, he has a history of cooperating with the feds.
So now we have two people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you don't get away with human trafficking unless you give up John Gotti or something like that, and that's not what happened here. I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this investigation.
Wow, because there could have been a tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them. But that doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big favors. They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political and business.
Diddy has been working with the feds for years as a confidential informant, and now he's ready to sing if it means he can get out sooner. His lawyers know there is no other way for Diddy to escape prison, and they're trying to strike a deal with the feds. In exchange for his freedom, Diddy will do whatever it takes, even if it means betraying the people he was closest to.
How does it go on for so long? You know, when we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was might not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling them they bigger than the law because they part of the law, you know? And as you know, all these people get tired of their raps. So,
Joe Rogan confirmed the same thing. There is absolutely no way the feds didn't know what Diddy was doing. The whispers had been there for years, and even industry insiders knew that Diddy was up to something. The fact that Diddy's mansion was raided by Homeland Security is proof of this. This wasn't just any other federal lawsuit. Homeland's involvement shows just how powerful the people caught up in this are.
Do you think the government was involved in the P. Diddy stuff?
1,000%.
Really?
I think they wanted to blackmail serious Hollywood people, serious music people, serious athletes. I think that Diddy opens up a different world than Epstein opened up. And I think if you want control over people in that world, there's startling similarities between Diddy and Epstein. And, you know, I mean, Diddy had the same head of security as Michael Jackson.
What does that mean?
Well,
was Michael Jackson in the government?
No, Michael Jackson has been credibly accused of inappropriate activities.
Oh, right.
And he had a security guard that
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just an interesting connection.
But generally, like, people that specialize in top-level celebrities like that, they work in the same circles.
Yes, but those are two top,
Yeah, but I see that's what's interesting is, like, we didn't know about the Diddy thing until, look, I've been in Hollywood I was there for 26 years or something like that. I didn't know about the Diddy parties.
No, I think you have to get invited to
a white party, like on like People magazine or something like that.
Well, I think it's just one of those things that, like, you're invited to, and you could go and show up there and stay for an hour, and it's all completely innocent. And then there are after parties or certain things.
Well, they would tell people, you know, at midnight, you better go the fuck home, or
it gets wild.
Be prepared to freak off.
And there's targets. I think people, they want leverage on certain people.
Well, certainly if you have artists, right? Like, say if you have an artist, he's the next Tupac.
Right.
And you imagine the amount of money a guy like that can generate if you have some, like, super talented artist.
Right.
fucking compromise him.
Yeah. Well, that's
Now you
right.
got him.
And now
Now
you
you got
have
him
him, and
forever.
now he's got to kind of do what you want.
Gene Deal confirmed that Diddy was working with the feds as a confidential informant. The secret meetings, the mystery calls, Gene saw it all. Diddy acted like he was bigger than the law. But the truth was, he knew they would never come after him. As long as Diddy did what he was told, they wouldn't arrest him. Diddy fed the police information, and they let his abuse continue.
That's a confidential informant. They'll let you do crimes, long as you don't do no murders and stuff like that. They'll let you go around and pay you. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Everybody had, somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then plus he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me? I'll give you this and that. Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for an FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you. Like you hired lawyers. Those lawyers have police officers and people working for them, and investigators. Those investigators were former officers. So all of them in the backyard in Diddy bed together.
Industry elites and other record company executives knew this too. Suge Knight has been saying this for decades. Diddy has always had a good relationship with the government. He has been snitching for years. There is nothing Diddy won't say or do to help him get out. His best friends know what's coming for them, and they're getting ready to run.
If the answers are there, how could you not say they don't want to see Puffy get life? The FBI is the most powerful people in the world. They're government. They have great prosecution people. Look at the prosecution rate. I think it's maybe 92, 98%. If you was just looking at it, you wouldn't think the prosecutors, as great as they are, that they was really trying to get this man off the streets. But still, if I was Puffy, I'd take some time and got it out the way. Because if he go in there and do a little time, he was going to feel he paid some debt to society. He'll start off where he left. If he get no time, the street's going to know the deal's been cut. If he get no time, nobody in the industry is going to fuck with him. It's going to be a bad problem for him because Puffy got to have security 24 hours a day. They act Puffy can get out of jail and start his own car up and drive around and live life. Him without security, he know he on borrowed time. So he had to have security. Him without drugs, shit, he probably wouldn't be able to have a conversation with nobody. He probably wouldn't be able to look nobody in the eye. He probably wouldn't even be able to bag a bitch.
It's possible that Diddy's deal with the government has already been finalized. The details of such a deal will never be publicly revealed, but everyone can see what's happening. TMZ reported that Diddy has been bragging to other inmates about a pardon. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Garago, confirmed the same thing. In a recent interview, he revealed that Diddy is planning something that will shock everyone.
There's a lot of news coming out. We reported a story about a pardon.
Yes.
Yeah.
All I'll tell you is I think your story was accurate. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, that's
So-
this week some decisions will be made. What's the feeling?
I have no idea about timing. All I know is everything that I read in that article looked accurate.
Well, look, that's probably some relief to Diddy's team, you know. And
I don't know. I think they're moving ahead. I don't think anybody is counting on anything, and
Right.
I think the reporting was accurate.
How did you hear he's faring since the sentencing?
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully we'll see him soon and find out.
I guess lastly, I would ask, what do you think his future looks like?
I have
You
the
know?
utmost confidence in Sean. I think Sean will make a comeback, the likes of which people are not expecting. So I've watched him. I've known him for a long time. I have the utmost confidence in him.
In whatever sphere. I mean, he's done
He's
the
done-
business, the
He's
music,
iconic
the
in a
fashion.
lot of ways, and I think he'll make a comeback. I'll leave it at that.
You don't think that he'll lose some fans, or do you think?
And part of character is when you fall down, you get back up.
Hey, thank you, Mark.
What is Diddy planning? And is it really a coincidence that just days after Mark said this, TMZ confirmed that Diddy and Donald Trump had discussed a potential pardon? Just who is Diddy going to snitch on in exchange for his pardon?
Diddy could be a free man by the end of this week. We broke a story last night that Donald Trump is seriously considering commuting his sentence. And there has been a lot of fallout with our story.
By the way, commuting his sentence before he's even in a prison.
Right.
He's still at Brooklyn MDC waiting to find out which prison he's going to. But this is something that President Trump is considering. And the fact that he's considering it is causing a bit of an internal war at the White House, because not everybody in the administration thinks this is a good idea.
So we are told this, and this is coming from somebody high up in the White House. We broke that story, incidentally, that right after the sentencing, his legal team, Diddy's legal team, got in touch with somebody who had the president's ear, and that the president was looking at the paperwork.
And the president acknowledged that
Like 2 days later.
Yeah, in the Oval Office.
2 days later.
Yeah.
So we now know that Trump is considering, we're told that he's kind of waffling, he's going back and forth on this, but there are staffers in the White House telling him, don't do it. So we put this story up last night.
If you look at Diddy's history and the criminal investigation against him, it becomes clear that there was more going on than what we were told. Diddy was committing these crimes for 20 years before he was actually caught. You're telling me that not a single person in those 20 years ever contacted the police, hotel staff, security personnel, or the hookers? It's obvious that information must have leaked. Why wasn't Diddy arrested then?
Let me ask you, one of the questions I had is, how does this go on for 20 some odd years? And the reason I say that, maybe there's a little, I don't want to say resentment, that's not the right word, but in my former life, the FBI was on us 24/7. We were I was indicted 7 times. I was arrested 18 times. I went to trial 5 times. I had 2 federal racketeering cases, 1 state. They were on me constantly. And look, I was a criminal. I was doing what I was doing, but I wasn't doing these kind of parties or anything like that. What I'm saying is, how does this go unnoticed or unbothered, I would say, for 20 years? So my first reaction is, this guy must be an informant. He must be doing something with the government. Just as my thought, I have nothing to back that up, until Suge said to me that Diddy's been an informant for years.
So why was Diddy arrested after 20 years of working as a criminal informant? And more importantly, are there other criminal informants that the feds are working with in Hollywood? According to Gene Deal, yes, there are. Did Diddy simply outlive his usefulness, and now the feds are trying to get whatever information they can from him?
Can't happen. If he was an informant, what made him turn on him?
Like I said, some people could retire. His name is too much in the news. Listen here, bro. They don't want you to be always in the news in a negative form. There's people that's probably worse than Diddy, but they not always in the news in a negative form. And then, like I said before, when he went against one of the world's biggest distributors of alcohol and spirits, they put out a campaign against him. They called their friends. They made him look real bad in the media. And a lot of that shit didn't go away, bro. It just compiled. And now with Cassie with her stuff, that Jonathan Odie, Lil Rob, and the 4 other people that filed cases. I think he got like 3 to 4 other cases that's filed against him that they trying to work out instead of going into court.
In 2024, right after Diddy's Miami mansion was raided, Ellen announced that she was leaving the country forever. Her departure lined up perfectly with Diddy's arrest, and fans couldn't help but notice that Ellen also tried to change her appearance. Someone who had been blonde for all her career changed her hair color and moved to England to start fresh. But the timing was too suspicious for many. Why would Ellen suddenly vanish from the spotlight just as Diddy's empire began to crumble under trafficking allegations? And why the drastic image change?
Really bad. If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Portia D. Rossi, have reportedly fled the U.S. bound for the UK after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting that the couple has left the United States permanently. There are also reports that the couple has put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication. The Wrap has the exclusive story, stating that Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia Dossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States. They've told friends that the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's the... Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. But I hadn't already known that because I had a buddy who worked for her. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, she's a monster.
Does one of us have to come out alive? Diddy and Ellen go way back. Ellen was a regular at Diddy's alleged parties, and word on the street is she knew she was exposed. Everyone who went to Diddy's parties knew that Diddy had something to say about what went on. They hoped Diddy would get away, but now that Diddy has no choice but to confess, they know they could get caught in the crossfire.
Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Jay-Z wasn't the only billionaire that Diddy was friends with. Jay-Z, Oprah, and Diddy, three of the richest people in Hollywood, used to hang out together and plan everything together. As we peel back the layers of the story, we see that there's more to Oprah than meets the eye.
Well, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala, too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Did you see the Babylon Bees take on it? Did you see the Babylon Bees?
Babylon Bees awesome, but
oh my God, they're so on fire because the left can't say anything. Well, the Onion has been crippled.
The problem is that like the
find that post.
The woke ideology makes like humor illegal.
Yes.
So when like there's so many humor no-fly zones,
right?
You can't make fun of anything.
Yeah. The Babylon Bee had a thing about Kamala Harris. Diddy's ex-girlfriend urges Americans to trust her judgment. Yeah. By the way, you get to see how bad an actress she is, too. That speech was terrible.
Like if she's going to be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein-type compromise deal where whether he was doing it himself. Conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is that people in the music and entertainment industry had to know that Diddy was like, kids basically. And yet they still fed him kids. And like, where's the accountability?
There had to be rumors. There had to be. They
had to know.
Yeah.
They had to know.
Cat Williams is talking about it on
exactly.
Yeah, on that podcast.
But like who's feeding him the kids?
Right. Yeah. And what videos do they have of these people where they're willing to defend him? And they're willing to keep quiet about all this. Like how many people were compromised?
Yeah.
The whole thing is crazy.
Crazy.
Not talking about the election. Thank you very much.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true, okay.
I was paid nothing, ever.
What do you think about all the celebrities with their mass exodus?
I'm not talking.
Do you think Prince Harry's gonna lose his visa now that Trump's president? Thank you, Oprah.
In a recent episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, Elon Musk argued that the ties Diddy has with Kamala Harris are suspicious and should be investigated.
Trump.
Now, guess who was exposed for taking $1 million from Kamala in exchange for her support? Yep, Oprah.
But her denials were debunked by FAC filings showing 2 payments of $500,000 to Oprah's company. This commentator said Oprah Winfrey was asked if she got paid for her endorsement of Kamala Harris. Winfrey denied ever being paid, but FEC filings says she receives 2 payments of $500K each. Why is she lying? This commentator slammed Oprah, saying, why would Harris pay someone to endorse her? And if you're Oprah, why do you need another $1 million? For God's sake, give it to a food bank or people in need.
To make matters even worse for Diddy, it looks like he won't be getting any time off his sentence in exchange for good behavior. Less than 2 weeks after being transferred into Fort Dix, Diddy was caught drinking. This means Diddy will not be eligible for the RDAP program, which was what he was going to use to get out early.
Diddy got caught drinking in prison. This comes after Diddy was begging the judge at his sentencing hearing to let him free that day because he said he was a changed man, and this was the first time that he was sober in 25 years. Now, according to TMZ, Diddy has run into some trouble with prison officials after he was caught with homemade alcohol. And in prison, it's usually called hooch, but this homemade alcohol that Diddy was caught with was made of Fanta, apples, and sugar. According to TMZ, the prison officials did want to move Diddy to a new unit after he got caught with this homemade alcohol, but they ended up reversing that decision, and it looks like Diddy is staying in the unit that he is in. What makes this even worse for Diddy is the fact that he is already ruining his potential shot to get an early release. You know that one of the reasons why Diddy wanted transported to Fort Dix prison is because the programs that they offer. That's because some of the programs that are offered at Fort Dix could give Diddy potentially up to a year off of his sentence. That's only if Diddy could be accepted and finish the program. And one of the things that they will deny you entry into these programs for is messing up and doing things you're not supposed to do. I mean, Diddy hasn't even been at Fort Dix for a full 2 weeks yet, and he's already doing things like this.
The real question now is simple. Who's next? Who else is preparing to flee the country, clean their record, or completely disappear before Diddy opens his mouth? Because according to the people closest to the case, the list is much longer than anyone realizes. If you want the full list of celebrities allegedly preparing for federal indictments and exclusive breakdowns of who Diddy might expose next, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned.